this video, we're talking about how to value the equity in your job offer. We'll walk through some really simple calculations to calculate the value of your equity. We'll also give you the questions you need to ask the recruiter or hiring manager to get the information you need to do these calculations. It's also possible that you'll be able to do searches online to get some of the information as well. So let's jump into this first calculation that's on the slide already. This is like the most simple way to think about the value of your equity. It can get way more complicated than this. And there are some kind of like technicalities that are missing from this calculation, but just in terms of when you're evaluating a job offer and you're trying to think of, okay, how much is this job offer worth versus either your current job or your previous job or other job offers, this is a really useful calculation to think in those terms. And in those terms, your equity value is just the percentage of equity that you own multiplied by the company valuation. So you can look at a really simple example of this. Let's imagine that you own 0.5% of the company's equity and the company's valuation is $250 million. In that case, you could multiply $250 million times 0.5% to get the value of your equity, which would be $1.25 million. This calculation probably seems super simple. Where it gets a little more complicated is figuring out the percentage of the company's equity that you own and the company's valuation. So in terms of figuring out what percentage of the company's total equity you own, here's a calculation to do that. What often happens when recruiters or hiring managers give job offers is they'll tell you how many shares you're going to get potentially. But that doesn't really help you because that doesn't give you any information about what percentage of the company's total equity you own. So you need to find this other piece of information, which is the number of shares outstanding. And this is a question that you should be able to ask the recruiter or hiring manager. You can just simply ask the question just like that. How many shares does the company have outstanding? Once you know the total number of shares that the company has outstanding, as well as the number of shares that you'll receive, you can divide the number of shares you'll receive by the number of shares outstanding, and that should give you the percentage that you are going to own of the company's equity. Here's another example. So if you're going to receive 5,000 shares and the company has 1 million shares outstanding, then when you divide 5,000 by 1 million, you'll get 0.5%. Once you know the percentage of the company's total equity that you'll own, the last thing you need to figure out is the company valuation. So I just went back to, let's go back one more slide actually. So this is the first calculation we're looking at. So we figured out the percentage of the company's equity that you will own, which is 0.5%, but we still need to figure out the company's valuation. Oftentimes, this is public information. You can find this out by doing a Google search. A lot of times, like the TechCrunch article or the Crunchbase page for the company will have this information about their valuation. And then, like we already discussed before, you just need to multiply the percentage you own by the company's valuation to get a rough idea of the value of the equity that you'll receive as part of your job offer.